new study discovered that a chemical found in sucralose that's sold under the trade name Splenda, you know that brand. Well, the study has found that it damages DNA. Researchers from NC State and UNC are behind these new findings. This is a big study, and so we wanted to talk to the folks behind it. The study's lead researcher, Susan Schiffman, joins us now live. Thank you so much for joining us.
What's going on, everybody? This is Julien Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter here, and my bad, special education teacher, here to take the fear out of fitness. Well, guys, I told you I was going to talk about this one, and I am going to talk about this one. Another artificial sweetener bites the dust. This particular artificial sweetener is sucralose, also under the brand name Splenda. I have warned y'all about aspartame. We have found out that erythritol is also a life threatener, and now we are finding out something that I've known for over a decade, that this was not going to end well for Splenda. But it not only did not end well, but it ended worse than I even thought it would, because we knew that it does create problems with the liver. We knew that it wasn't a natural state of being, and it causes you to actually eat more if you're not careful. But I had no idea that this thing would come back and say that it destroys DNA. Now, say what you will about aspartame, say what you will about erythritol, it does not mess with your DNA. It does not start unraveling the strands of your DNA, which essentially is what sucralose does. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a situation in which you need to understand that this is now all about self-control, because self-control is your only option. Your only option is self-control. You like sweets. I like sweets. I love sweets, just like everybody else. However, there has to be some form of recourse. There has to be some version of understanding as to how do we manage our cravings, how do we manage our nutrition, and how do we put ourselves in a position to put ourselves in the highest percentage of longevity. Now, I'm not going to overtalk this video too much, because I want you guys to hear this for yourselves, because this is highly, highly important. I just want y'all to understand that I have been standing on this soapbox for over a decade, that these artificial sweeteners are not good for you. Under no circumstance. I'd rather you be obese and get your act together than to turn around and get yourself caught up into this stuff. I've already explained to y'all that aspartame more than likely has caused great damage in my family. It is probably linked to the demise of a family member. Can't necessarily prove it definitively, but if you knew how much of that product my relative consumed, I guarantee you it played a significant role in their demise. Also, like I said, I wasn't expecting the erythritol, or the combination of erythritol. So just so y'all know, it's not monk fruit, it is erythritol. But because monk fruit is so heavily united with erythritol, you gotta watch yourself with the monk fruit. All right. And now we have Splenda. Now we have sucralose, which is in everything. If you haven't noticed, it's in your energy drinks, it's in your diet sodas, any of your zero sugars, because what y'all don't know is that there's a distinction of diet and zero sugar. diet specifically has the aspartame and the NutraSweet in it, and the zero sugars have the zero sugar sodas, the commercial ones, the zero sugar commercial sodas have sucralose in them. And then you have your traditional sodas that have high fructose corn syrup in them, and then you have the retro sodas and the retro drinks that are using pure sugar in them. And I have to say, of all the vices that are out there, your best bet is pure sugar. Don't go with any high fructose corn syrup. Don't go with any artificial sweeteners. Pure sugar, and learn to modify how much of it you are ingesting on a regular basis. But without further ado, I'm going to move on to this study and let the geniuses explain it to you. All right, here we go.
It's enjoyable to be here.
First question, explain what this chemical does to our DNA. That sounds like a pretty big deal.
Yeah, well, it breaks it up. That's a pretty big deal. And it also, if you apply it to cells, you can actually see broken chromosomes in the cells. And when it gets into the gut, it can induce genes, which are, part of DNA, and it can cause inflammation and even cancer.
All right, let's stop right there. It starts to break down your chromosomes. I'm not going to go any further with that. I'm going to let y'all read into that as much as you need to. For those of us who particularly cannot father children, or for those of us who cannot father a specific gender of children, you might be figuring out why that is, because it is destroying your chromosomes. It is destroying the inside of your stomach, which contains 70% of your immune system, by the way. And it is causing cancer. I want y'all to understand what I'm telling you. This is probably number 2 on the list of the worst. Erythritol has nothing on Splenda and aspartame. All right, just letting you know. And even then, I'm telling you not to use these products because they are causing strokes. One is causing strokes. The other one causes cancer in lab rats. We have known since 1967 that one of them causes cancer in lab rats, and the other one is now destroying your DNA. But I digress.
Okay, expand on that. So how exactly does this chemical impact overall gut health? Because I know that was a big part of your study.
Right. What it does is it damages the little connections between the cells, and it can let compounds, let ingredients, for example, in the food supply or other compounds leach into your body that should be excreted from the intestines. Also, sucralose itself will damage the bacteria in the cell in the gut, and it kills off the good bacteria, which is not good.
How?
So, for those of y'all who have irritable bowel syndrome and all of these other intestinal issues, it might not have been what you've been thinking it was this whole entire time. Go back and check your diet. Really, really dig deep into your diet and look and see if sucralose plays any role in your nutrition. And you might not even know it. Sometimes it's because they mix your favorite drinks with it and you don't know it, because they mix it with both high fructose corn syrup and sucralose, so that way it supposedly lowers your sugar footprint inside of the body, but at the same time it still tastes as sweet as it used to. But if you notice, some of your drinks that you used to drink when you were kids doesn't taste exactly the same, has a little bit of a weird taste to it. You might want to go back and look on the back of your label and see if sucralose is not one of the ingredients. Chances are it probably is. Also, think about your gum, right? Think about your gum, think about your beverages, think about your diet foods, your diet sweet foods, your zero sugar foods. specifically like candy, I want you to start thinking about that. And if you're a person who enjoys the sweetness of their foods but doesn't want all of that extra sugar, let's not get into supplements, guys. Your energy drinks, your electrolyte drinks, your protein powders are loaded with sucralose. Some of your popular brands their primary sweetener is sucralose. So for all you bodybuilders that are wondering why you're not making the gains that you should be getting, for those of y'all who are into your fitness but wondering why your body's breaking down faster than it would have normally broken down, this might be your situation. Why?
How much Splenda or sucralose needs to be consumed in order for this to be harmful?
Well, this is what's really interesting that we found is that the amount of sucralose 6-acetate, this compound that is in a single packet of Splenda or in one drink, is enough to exceed what's called the threshold of toxicological concern. It's the level used in the food industry and in Europe at the European food agencies to say that this is too much genotoxic compound in.
Genotoxic. It is toxic to your genes, not even just to your body. It is toxic to your genes. And what she's talking about here is, and I'm not posting these brands on here, by the way, but these brands are guilty of having sucralose in them. However, what they're saying is that one drink is enough to start wreaking havoc on you. I'm terrified because there was a product that I was consuming out of desperation because I didn't feel like waiting for an order, and I just purchased it off the shelf knowing it had sucralose in it, but I'm highly against it. I've been consuming this product for the last almost 6-7 months, and now I used it as a pick-me-up, as a means to shake myself awake, putting myself in a position where I want to be able to perform better, especially while I'm at work. Now, they're letting me know that I'm going to have to detox from this stuff in order to even have a chance. All right? Because this thing has been wrecking my DNA.
Food supply. And so a single packet is too much. And we certainly don't want to consume this over a period of time because repeated consumption kills off good bacteria over time. It also bioaccumulates.
Okay, one packet, that's pretty jarring because there are so many people who use Splenda as an artificial sweetener. So how do other artificial sweeteners compare risk-wise?
Okay, risk-wise, sucralose is worse. It kills off the good bacteria with repeated use. It forms toxic compounds called chloropropanols when you heat it, like when you make a cake. It's fat soluble, so it will bioaccumulate in your body, and it damages the intestinal membranes, which causes things like irritable bowel syndrome. So basically, the data show.
I didn't even watch this entire video. This is the hilarity of it all.
So if you have some yellow packets or you have drinks in the house that have sucralose in them, I would say discard them.
Wow, a really enlightening study. Thank you so much for joining us here on WRAL. Susan Schiffman joining us live.
Guys, this is the reality. I swear to you, this video is 3 minutes and 10 seconds long. I stopped at minute 130 maybe into this video when I originally saw this video. The deal is this. The irritable bowel syndrome, it's just connect the dots. If it's destroying the interior walls of your intestines, killing off the bacteria that is meant to help you digest your food, that is meant to fight off multiple forms of disease, especially inside of the intestine, irritable bowel syndrome is common sense. At that point. So I just want y'all to understand this. I'm gonna land the plane. Yep, Julien's gonna land the plane. Your self-control is more important now more than ever than it ever has been, because everything you are putting into your body is meant to destroy you. It is no longer a situation to where the things that you're putting into your body are just meant to be safe. You cannot afford to have a lack of discipline. You cannot afford to indulge in excess. No food you can have is worthy of indulging in excess. Whether it be alcohol, whether it be fruits, vegetables, maybe I guess you can indulge in excess, but even then you'll start wrecking your stomach because the fiber in your vegetables will start causing issues. You can't overindulge in meat. You can't overindulge in processed foods. That includes vegan processed foods. Because newsflash, any of your artificial, meats, so to speak, are heavily processed. And because they're heavily processed, while you're standing on the soapbox, you're still causing great harm to your body if you're not doing it properly. So, if this is a matter of willpower, if this is a matter of mental weakness, I strongly suggest that you guys start getting mentally strong, because it is not going to get any better. You're going to start finding out a lot of the things that you put into your body are far worse than the natural occurrences that exist in our world as it is. Meat, fish, chicken, fruits, vegetables. If we don't start getting back to the simplicity of it all and starting to modify our decisions and our behaviors, you're going to find yourselves in a world of hurt, and I really don't want that, because all I ever want is for you is to be the best you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Guys, if you have stayed on this long, go ahead and click the like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day, and be the best you.